What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Lazy Player's Guide to 99. In this guide, we are going to be checking out the Fletching skill, which can be one of the laziest possible skills in RuneScape if you make it that way, but it can also be one of the fastest, which we will not be covering because, well, we're trying to be lazy. But as usual, if you guys have any awesome loot tabs to send me, you can send them to the email address right here. And if you don't have my Discord information or my clan chat and you want to come hang out, you can check that out in the description below. And as usual, if you're looking for certain information throughout this guide, there are timestamps also in the description below. But with that, let's go ahead and get into this Lazy Player's Guide to 99. The Fletching skill is honestly one of my favorite skills to AFK because of how incredibly simplistic it is. Let's be honest here, most skilling in RuneScape is really boring, so it pays off to have something else to do while you're skilling. I personally have another account that I play on while I'm skilling, but it can be anything you want to do on the side, especially with this skill. If you follow the unstrung bow fletching part of this guide, you'll have about 1 minute in between each inventory, which makes it perfect for getting something else done while on another account, maybe doing some homework or even catching up on some work. So with that being said, I will be covering two different methods in this guide, one of which is twice as AFK as the latter method. But to get started with this guide, I'll be covering fletching unstrung bows only, as well as fletching the unstrung bows and stringing them yourself. Both are decently AFK, with the former being perfect for the ultimate AFK skilling experience. Now, if you're perfect with this, you'll be able to fletch 1,700 unstrung bows per hour, and you'll be able to string 2,450 bows per hour. We're going to assume, though, that we're not going to be perfect, so realistically, we'll be seeing between 1,400 and 1,500 bows fletched per hour, and 2,200 to 2,300 bows strung per hour. I'm choosing these numbers because if we're going to be sweaty about this, we might as well be fletching darts to 99. Before we get started with the leveling guide, there are a few quests that award fletching experience. There are actually only 6 of them at the current time that this video is being made, and those are Big Chumpy Burn Hunting, which will give you 262, Animal Magnetism for 1,000, Zogre Flesh Eaters for 2,000, the Fremenic Trials for 2,812, Devious Mines for 5,000, and the Temple of Ekov for 8,000, giving you a total of 19,074 fletching experience from questing. Now, this isn't very significant, and none of these will help you get started, so it's best just to do these when you have time, not for fletching experience specifically. So assuming you'll only be following this guide to 99 fletching, the only items you'll need to get started are logs, a knife, and a little bit of money if you're making only unstrung bows to 99. If you'll be following the latter part of the guide and stringing the bows that you fletched, you'll need to also buy bowstrings as well. Obviously, Ironmen will need to chop the logs themselves or acquire them from monster drops, and the same goes for the bowstrings. I'm going to start off here with level 1 to 10, which will be the same for just fletching the bows and also fletching the bows and stringing the bows. If you'd like to see certain points in the leveling guide, check the description below for the timestamps to jump to what you're interested in. So from level 1 to 10, it's very simple. The item that we are going to be fletching is going to be arrow shafts. You will need 231 normal logs, and these will give you 5 experience per fletched item for a total experience of 1,154 to reach level 10. The experience per hour, I actually didn't figure this because it's not very significant. The time that it will take you to do this is about 10 minutes. It's going to cost you around 4,200 GP, and unfortunately, you're going to lose about 600 GP by the time you hit level 10. Alright, so here is where the guides actually split off. So first we are going to be covering fletching bows, so this will require only the logs that you need for the specific bow and the knife. So from level 10 to 20, you'll be fletching unstrung longbows, and you will need normal logs for this, 332 of them. As for experience, it's going to be 10 XP per fletched bow for a total of 3,316. As for the experience per hour, you're looking at between 14 and 15,000. It'll only take you about 15 minutes to get from level 10 to 20. As for the cost, it's going to be about 6,000 GP, and afterwards you're going to be in the hole for 2,300 GP. From level 20 to level 25, you will be fletching oak short bows. You will need to fletch 205 of them. As for experience, 16.5 per bow fletched for a total of 3,372. As for XP per hour, 23 to 25,000. It will only take you between 5 and 10 minutes to do this. As for cost, 5,300 GP, and you will lose 2,300 GP. From level 25 to level 35, you'll be fletching oak longbows. You will need to do 583 of these. Experience is 25 each for a total of 14,564. XP per hour, 35 to 38,000. It will take you between 20 and 30 minutes. As for cost, 15,200, and you will actually make 1,700 GP when you sell the bows back. From level 35 to level 40, this will be willow short bows. You will need to fletch 446 of them. As for experience, 33.25 for a total of 14,818. Experience per hour is between 46 and 50,000. It will take you between 15 and 25 minutes to do this. As for cost, 7,100 GP, and you will profit 9,800 GP when you sell them back. From level 40 to level 50, this will be willow longbows. You will need 1,545 willow logs. As for experience, 41.5 per bow fletched for a total of 64,109. As for XP per hour, 58 to 63,000. It will take you about 1.25 hours to do this, or an hour and 15 minutes. As for cost, 24,800 GP, and profit 35,500. From level 50 to level 55, you will be fletching maple short bows. You will need 1,307 maple logs. Experience is 50 per bow fletch for a total of 65,303. Experience per hour is between 70 and 75,000 XP. As for time, it'll take you between 50 and 60 minutes to get from level 50 to level 55. It will cost you 9,200 GP. Maple logs are the cheapest logs in the game, and you will profit 81,000 GP. Now at this point, we're going to throw the short bows out of the equation. We will lose some experience per hour because we're not doing the best bows we can for the current level, but personally, I think it's better to forego that small experience per hour gain for a little bit of profit, because doing the U and magic short bows will result in a decent loss of money. For maple U and magic longbows, these are very popular for stringing, and the strongbows are very popular for magic training with high alchemy. This is exactly what I did for 99 fletching, so if you're interested in making a small profit and still keeping it very AFK, I encourage you to do the same. If you do decide that U and magic short bows are the way you want to go, you'll actually erase any profit made from getting 99, and you'll end up with a small loss. So from level 55 to level 70, you will be fletching maple longbows. You will need 9,803 maple logs. As for experience, it is 58.25 per bow fletched for a total of 570,991. As for experience per hour, 81 to 87,000, so that's not too bad. Time, 6.5 to 7 hours. It will only cost you 68,000 GP, and you will profit about 420,000 GP. From level 70 to level 85, you will be fletching U longbows. You will need 33,613 U logs for this. The experience is 75 per bow fletched for a total of 2,520,967 experience. As for XP per hour, 105 to 112,000. It will take you between 22 and 24 hours to complete 70 to 85. As for cost, it's going to be an overhead cost of between 5.6 and 5.7 million GP, but profit is getting a little decent here, 2.9 to 3 million GP profit. From level 85 to level 99, you'll be fletching magic longbows. You will need 106,840 magic logs. As for experience, 91.5 per bow fletch for a total of 9,775,837 experience. As for the XP per hour, 128 to 138,000, which is pretty good. As for time, between 70 and 77 hours. The overhead cost is pretty hefty, 103 to 105 mil, depending on market values at the time, but you can just buy a little bit here, sell them when you're done, and you'll always have a profit at the end, so you'll never lose money. As for profit, between 1.5 and 1.7 million GP. And as for a recap of all the totals, so if you use this method for your total time to level 99, you're looking at somewhere between 105 and 110 hours. As for the total overhead cost to 99, somewhere around 110 million GP, but once again, that is based on the market values at the time of this video. As for total profit to 99, you're looking at 5.1 mil, not very much, but it's still pretty good for getting a 99. So now we're going to go ahead and move into the fletching and the stringing bows method. So this is where you'll be doing all the work yourself. And if you missed level 1 to level 10, you can jump back to the beginning of the guide and check that out. So from level 10 to level 20, you'll be fletching completed longbows. you will need 166 logs and bowstrings. As for experience, it will be 20 per completed bow for 3,316 experience. As for the XP per hour, and this is based off of fletching as well as stringing the bows, it's going to be between 18,000 and 19,000. As for time, 15 to 20 minutes. It will cost you 32,000 GP, and you will lose 24,500 GP. From level 20 to level 25, you will be fletching completed oak short bows. You will need 103 oak logs and 103 bowstrings. As for experience, 33 per completed bow, 3,372 experience total. As for XP per hour, 30 to 32,000. It will take you between 7 and 12 minutes, cost you 20,700 GP, and you will lose 17,100 GP. From level 25 to level 35, you'll be fletching completed oak longbows. As for the logs and bowstrings needed, 292. You will get 50 experience per fletched and strung oak longbow for a total of 14,564. As for the XP per hour, 46 to 48,000. It will take you between 15 and 20 minutes to complete this. It will cost you 58,700 GP, and the profit is going to be minus 42,600. From level 35 to 40, you will be fletching willow short bows. You will need 223 willow logs and 223 bowstrings. As for experience, it's going to be 66.5 per completed bow for a total of 14,818. As for XP per hour, 60 to 62,000. It will take you between 15 and 20 minutes to do this, cost you 42,600 GP, and you will lose 32,800 GP. From level 40 to level 50, you will be fletching willow longbows. You will need 773 willow logs and bowstrings. As for experience, 83 per strung and fletched bow for a total of 64,109. Experience per hour is between 76 and 78,000. It will take you between 45 and 60 minutes to get from level 40 to 50. As for cost, it will cost you between 145 and 150,000 GP, and you will lose 40,000 GP. From level 50 to level 55, this is where we start to see some profit from this method. You'll be fletching maple short bows. You'll need 654 maple logs and bowstrings. As for experience, 100 per completed bow for a total of 65,303. XP per hour is between 90 and 95,000. As for time, 50 to 60 minutes. It will cost you between 115 and 120,000 GP, and you will actually profit 28,000 GP. From level 55 to level 65, you'll be fletching maple longbows. You will need 2,427 maple logs and bowstrings. The experience per completed bow is 116.5 for a total of 285,792. You can see between 105 and 110,000 experience per hour. This will take you 2.5 to 3 hours, cost you 440 to 450,000 GP, but you will profit 250K. Now, if you skip to this part of the guide, just as a quick bit of information, in the fletching only part of the guide, we skip the U in magic short bows because of the cost to loss ratio. However, when fletching and stringing the bows, you'll have the opportunity to make a lot more profit when fletching the magic longbows from 85 to 99. You'll actually make a profit from fletching and stringing U short bows compared to losing when just fletching. The only loss you'll see here is out of the magic short bows, but like I said, the loss is very minor compared to the profit we'll discuss in a few minutes. So from level 65 to level 70, you'll be fletching U short bows. You will need 2,134 U logs and bowstrings. Experience per completed bow is 135 for a total of 288,199. XP per hour is between 120 and 130,000. As for time, 2.25 to 2.75 hours. It will cost you between 700 and 750,000 GP, and you will profit 33,000. From level 70 to level 80, you will be fletching U longbows. You will need 8,322 U logs and bowstrings. As for experience, 150 per completed bow for a total of 1,248,441. Experience per hour is between 135 and 140,000. As for time, 8.5 to 9.5 hours. It will cost you 2.8 to 2.9 million GP, but you will profit 1.6 to 1.75 million from level 70 to level 80. From level 80 to level 85, you'll be fletching magic short bows. As for the logs and bowstrings needed, 7,666 of each. Experience is 166 per completed bow for a total of 1,272,526 XP from level 80 to 85. Experience per hour is between 150 and 155,000. It will take you between 8.5 hours, cost you between 8.8 and 8.9 million, and the profit, you are going to lose 2.6 to 2.7 million, but we are getting into the magic longbows now, and you will make all of that back. I will say here that if you do want to continue to just make profit, you can replace the magic short bows with the U longbows and just fletch those straight through to 85, just like in the fletching only method. And on the home stretch from level 85 to level 99, you'll be fletching magic longbows. You will need 53,419 magic logs and bowstrings. As for the experience per completed magic longbow, 183. The experience from level 85 to 99 is 9,775,837. As for the XP per hour, 170 to 175,000. It will take you between 55 and 60 hours to complete this, cost you 61 to 62 million GP as an overhead, and your profit is going to be between 8.2 and 8.4 million GP. And as for the quick recap of the totals for this method, your total time to 99 is going to be about 82 hours, which is about 20 hours faster than the previous method, so you can save a little time there. As for the total overhead cost to 99, it is going to be 75 million GP, and that is a lot of overhead money saved because of the bowstrings that you will be using with the magic longbows. But either way, you'll still make it all back in the end. Total profit to 99 for fletching and stringing your own bows is going to be about 7.5 million GP. Alright, so as for some final thoughts about the lazy way to the fletching 99. So, I actually did unstrung bows all the way to 99. I didn't want to be bothered with stringing them. It is faster, and I didn't cover just the stringing method because that's actually getting away from how AFK I want these guys to be. I gave you the second method with the stringing bows because I thought it would be good to throw it in there because it's not super AFK, but it's still AFK. But if you're just stringing the bows and that's it, that is not really AFK at all. You're still going to be paying a lot of attention because you're only able to do 14 at a time. Now, me personally, like I said, I fletched the bows unstrung all the way to 99 because I wanted to be super lazy with it. I wanted to be able to do other things, watch Netflix, work on something else, just not pay that much attention in general, and it worked out for me. As for you guys, it is all up to you. Either one of these methods will obviously work and probably get you where you're going with not a lot of effort. Alright everybody, that is going to do it for the Lazy Player's Guide to 99 Fletching. I hope that you may have learned a thing or two from this video if you didn't know, and I hope that you found this information useful if you're trying to be lazy on your skilling endeavors all the way to level 99. So if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up down below. They really do help the video's popularity. And if you have any questions, comments, or constructive criticism, you can leave those in the comments section down below. I do try to get to every single thing that I possibly can. I like replying to your comments, and I like hearing from you. So if you haven't done so yet, you can also tap the subscribe button right down there in the bottom right corner. With that, I will see you guys on the next episode of the Lazy Player's Guide to 99. Take it easy, everybody.